Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Anusha Soni. Different political parties coming together to beat the incumbent or the government in power is not unknown to Indian polity or any other political system. The two historic mandates given to the BJP in the earlier Lok Sabha elections have established and edged the popularity and support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But bolstered by the victory in the recent state assembly elections and the shrinking footprint of the BJP at the state level, the opposition parties have a newfound hope. The opposition parties, diametrically opposite in ideology or politics, have attempted to unite for a singular cause, which is to defeat the BJP in the next Lok Sabha election slated for 2024. Fissures between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party or the TMC versus the Congress Party are not unknown. Recent controversies and standoffs have only accentuated these schisms and raised further questions over the ambitious idea of the grand opposition alliance in the run-up to 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Well, to have a formidable opposition is the hallmark of any dynamic democracy, including India. But in the increasingly personality-driven electoral contest, will the opposition be able to throw a real challenge to the BJP in the upcoming Lok Sabha election without a clear leadership face or even a united agenda against the BJP? Our top focus on Brass Tacks tonight.
क्या ये कांग्रेस के साथ में समझौता करना चाहते हैं, कांग्रेस का समर्थन लेना चाहते हैं या कांग्रेस को इससे दूरी बनाना चाहते हैं?
देखिए, मैं तो कांग्रेस पार्टी से एक ही सवाल पूछना चाहूंगी कि क्या वो देश के संविधान के साथ है, क्या वो लोकतंत्र के साथ है, क्या वो संघीय ढांचे के साथ है या वो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ है?
तो मैंने की बखूबी ये मालूम हो चुके हैं कि इस बार के चुनाव में ये सारे उनके मतदान सत्ता पार्टी के खिलाफ जाएंगे.
ഇതെല്ലാം ബിജെപിയെ സുഖിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നരേന്ദ്രമോദിയെ സുഖിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് 2024 അജണ്ടയാണ് കേരളത്തിലെ സിപിഎം നടപ്പിലാക്കുന്നത്.
ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये लोग वो इकट्ठे हुए हैं जिनका ना नेता है, ना नीतियां हैं और नीयत में भारी खोट है.
Well, let's take this question to our guest as well. Joining us on the broadcast, we have Mr. Ajay Maken, who is the spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. Rohan Gupta, the national spokesperson for the Congress Party, Mr. Tausif Rahman from the TMC and Nilofer Masood from the NC are all joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Rohan Gupta, coming to you first. Rohan ji, I'd request you to open the debate because the Congress Party is expected to play a leadership role when it comes to the opposition alliance in the run-up to 2024 Lok Sabha elections. And if there is an open war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party versus the Congress Party versus the TMC versus Pinarayi Vijayan government in the state of Kerala, how is it that we are likely to see any kind of united opposition front in the run-up to 2024? And I ask you this question because you're the first amongst the equals, aren't you? The Congress Party will lead this campaign against the BJP.
Absolutely, it is responsibility of Congress Party to ensure that opposition work unitedly. But at the same time, we need to understand one thing is, when you come for a common minimum program, you cannot raise bilateral issues between two parties. Congress has never done that. When Mr. Rahul Gandhi was questioned by ED, we never expected Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi to demonstrate with us. When, they cancelled his parliament membership, we never expected Aam Aadmi Party to join the protest with us. When TMC, they took one of our MLAs who was recently elected, we never opposed this issue when the common meeting was going on. When TMC took our office bearers and made their MPs, we never went back and complained to TMC because we are matured enough to understand when it comes to bilateral issues, the common minimum platform, which is opposition unity, that is not the platform.
No, but
the same way we expect
but
this
Rohanji, your party has also issued statements and said that there are various statements that the Aam Aadmi Party and their leaders have made against Ashok Gehlot, against Sachin Pilot, and these are not the kind of statements that they should be making. So the response or the attack has been coming from both the sides. It's unfair to say that it's only the Aam Aadmi Party that has raised these issues. It seems like that the Congress Party has also made it a quid pro quo game of some sorts in terms of political bargaining or perhaps political egos.
Absolutely, Anusha. See, we never started this, right? When we attended the opposition meeting, we have never set any preconditions for Aam Aadmi Party or TMC. It is that they are complaining. We are not complaining. We understand our responsibilities. We are ready to do our responsibility. But at the same time, when they are initiating something and they expect Congress not to react, I think that's not going to work. Our local units are also there in the same states. They also have right to their opinion. My limited point here is, when you have a larger issue of protecting the country against BJP, you need to forget the bilateral issues, because in states Congress will be fighting against these local parties. These issues will come. You cannot use this platform to raise these issues. This is what limited point I'm saying. If Congress doesn't do that, we expect these parties.
My last question to you before I bring in Mr. Ajay Alok also into the discussion. The Aam Aadmi Party largely is talking about the issue of ordinance, which according to them is a constitutional issue. It's not an individual issue about Rahul Gandhi or some other action against some other leader. They are saying either you're with the constitution or you're with the BJP.
So Anusha, I asked the same question to Aam Aadmi Party. When they passed the ordinance farmer bill in Delhi Assembly, were they against BJP or for BJP? And on this ordinance, we have not said, Anusha, that we are against that. Congress party has clearly said that we will take the decision, taking the local leaders' opinion, and we'll decide finally. It's not that we are going against that, so they should wait and they should trust, right? They cannot expect Congress just to follow them blindly. Because in past there were many
one thing is absolutely clear. One thing is absolutely clear, Rohanji, with what you're saying, is that there is no common ground. And if there is no common ground between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, will there be a common ground with the NC, with the TMC, or with any other political party? Mr. Ajay Alok, I want you to come into the discussion. The opposition parties have said, look, all the parties are coming together, and somewhere our differences are being overplayed by the BJP. If there are so many different political parties on the same table, there are bound to be differences of opinion. There can be issues at the state level, but that doesn't deter the opposition parties from having a common minimum program. And you are playing up these differences because you're scared of this grand alliance in the making. Ajay ji, please respond.
First of all, why will I just don't understand one thing, like how we are concerned that if they are making an alliance, they will form an alliance, they'll contest together, they will not contest together. It's actually none of the concern of BJP when they have not formed the alliance. In last election, see Bihar, UP, every place they had an alliance. एक कहावत है हिंदी में कि लालची के देश में ठग भूखा नहीं मरता है. When bunch of crooks are making alliance, what's our problem? It's not our problem. The country is looking at them. The kind of contradiction they are having. They are openly saying that we are poaching each other's MLAs, but that's a bilateral issue. This is ridiculous. Nitish Kumar poached all the Congress MLCs and they were sitting at the Nitish Kumar place. Rahul Gandhi was sitting there. So this will keep on happening. Why they are coming? That is the most important thing. Is the existential crisis of theirs. They know 10 years is gone now. If another 5 years Modi is there, अभी तक तो बेल लेके बाहर हैं, फिर कहीं जेल नहीं हो जाए, पार्टी साफ नहीं हो जाए. They are all threatened. And this fear is just making them do certain things, which is exposing them more and more in front of other people.
But Ajay ji, nobody is denying the emphatic mandate that the BJP had got in the two Lok Sabha elections. But the recent assembly elections, the victory in Karnataka, and the hopes that the opposition parties have for the upcoming assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, somewhere the decrease in the footprint of the BJP as far as state elections are concerned is giving much hope to the opposition parties.
Exactly, they should be hopeful. If they don't get hope, how will they breathe? So let them have the hope. But just a small reminder that in 2018 also we lost Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. Even Karnataka, we were the largest party, but the government was formed by Congress and JDS. We were out of the power. That doesn't make a difference. Now let me count you some another figure. We won 303 seats. Out of these 303 seats, 224 seats were that where we got more than 50% of votes. More than 50%. Another 50 seats were those where we got 47 to 50% votes. These two together combines for 274. That's why we are saying this time we are going to cross 325 on our own, more than 300. Okay. And if good possibility, it can touch 350. So we are not scared of that. We know we have to fight with all of these
you
together.
sound pretty confident on your numbers, Mr. Tauseef
Parivarwad politics, we have to fight.
Parivarwad ki rajniti. Let's see if that argument goes well with Niloufar Masood and Tauseef Rahman, who are also with us on the broadcast. Niloufar ji, let me come to you and let me take this argument with you. When it comes to the special status that was earlier accorded to the territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the abrogation of Article 370 and various other issues on which the parties in the valley have a specific position and a stand that they have taken as far as national politics or state politics is concerned. A lot of parties in the opposition camp, say Shiv Sena and various others, are not on the same table. And this is the moot issue on which parties like you, political parties like yours, are having their political existence of fighting for the rights of the people like you believe to do so. How are you going to have any common ground, say with the likes of a Shiv Sena or any other political party with which you shared the stage in Patna?
Arushi, actually, I think this is the high time for all the opposition parties to sink their personal differences vis-a-vis their parties and make a common minimum program and go ahead against such a party which is against the democracy, basic ethics of the democracy and the constitution itself. What we have seen on 5th August 2019, that was really undemocratic and unconstitutional what has happened. And basically it started from J&K and it is gripping the whole country. So it ought to have been at that time, never late than that. I think this is high time for everybody to learn from the mistakes which they have committed in the past. So I request everybody that there should be a platform. There is no doubt about it that maybe there may be some personal interests or involved in the such thing wherein other parties have to get together and make such program. Maybe I'm against all those things which may not suit me, but for the nation we need to come together because
so you'd be fine, ma'am, you'd be fine with sharing a stage with a political party or being in alliance with a political party which does not support the restoration of special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Would you be okay with that? Is that the position that you're taking?
See, in the recent past, we have seen coalition between the NCP, Congress, and the Shiv Sena. If it can happen there, why not in other country, other states also? It can be possible there. Since our stand is that we are against the move which was taken by the government of India on 5th August, we want the restoration of the Article 370.
You're showing flexibility to share stage with different political parties. No, Mr. Tauseef Rahman, I'm coming to you.
We are against every such stand which goes against the step which was taken on 5th
But
August
many political parties with whom your party shared a stage in Patna, ma'am, my limited point is that many of them don't support the restoration of special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Tauseef Rahman, wedding function that the Congress party had to attend, that was the statement of Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary on the opposition meet in Patna. You really think TMC can join hands with the Congress party at any level?
Ma'am, it's too early to jump the gun because the alliance process has just started and I don't understand why BJP has gone into ICU where they're having a heart attack and their palpitation is not coming back. The ECG report is not good for BJP. I mean, it's too early. I mean, you know, if someone wants to be under the alliance, whether it's 2 political party, 4 political party or 5 political parties, BJP is not supposed to decide anything. The people of India will decide about this whole alliance, whether they are going to accept this or not. Whatsoever we do, it's all about vote polarization, and BJP needs to see what BJP has done in last 10 years. They have to bring their work chart and sit with us. We can show our work chart. Now the problem is about alliance. Now let it happen. Now the next meeting is in Shimla. The outcome will come. Now Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary ji is not only the Congress. Congress is handled by Kharge ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, and Mamata Banerjee clearly stated that we are together. If you talk about seat sharing, it's too early. Maybe we can campaign for Congress in Rajasthan where Congress is very strong. And Rahul Gandhi come and shake hand with Mamata Banerjee and he can say that yes, I will campaign for Bengal for the TMC. So I mean, what is the problem? Why are they in trouble? From Smriti Irani to Sushil Modi, I have seen all the press conference. They look very nervous, very nervous. I mean, they should wait. If you are the biggest political party in the world, and if you think we are crooks,
but Tauseef ji, the counter argument is the counter argument is that There is not much time. I mean, where elections have become highly competitive, including local level panchayat elections in which all political parties throw their might, including the BJP, Congress or the TMC. You're fighting panchayat elections in the state of West Bengal, so you're aware of that. When elections have become all about strategic planning and a high state political battle, you really think that 1 year is a long time when we talk about Lok Sabha elections? Perhaps the political equations, seat sharing, who's going to be the face, all of these questions would have rather been settled between the players so far. The BJP says it's a mere photo op.
Ma'am, we need I think 2 months to 3 months it will take to shape, and the outcome will be there very soon. But the biggest strength is Janta ke strength. Gadbandhan kiske saath karna hai, Janta ke saath karna hai. This is not a big thing with which political party are you going to do the alliance. The biggest thing is these political party, this whole alliance group, whether it's TMC, Nitish Kumar ki party or whatsoever. The thing is that we have to do and strengthen our thing, our work chart with the people of India. Now BJP needs to wait and see what is the outcome. They should focus on their own work. They should focus what's happening in Manipur. They should stop that. You know, nothing is bigger than what's happening in Manipur right now. Even the panchayat election in Bengal is not that big. You have to solve that. Instead of focusing on what alliance is going to do, they should focus what Manipur needs to get stopped.
All right,
So
Mr. Ajay Alok, please come in, respond to various points that the TMC has raised, including the fact that BJP seems to be going into an utter shock and an ICU because the opposition parties have gotten together. Mr. Ajay Alok.
Well, they expect us to sing peons for them if they are talking of alliance. Very good. You are giving a very good message to the public and to the people of this country that yes, we are coming together because we are loaded with cases of corruption. Yes, we are coming together because we are out on a bail. Yes, we are coming together because we have to save the family fiefdom. Yes, we are coming together because we want power at all the cost. Country goes to hell. And second thing, don't talk of Manipur. What Manipur is facing, Bengal is facing for the last 8 years. More 100 times more killing than Manipur has happened in Bengal. Even the Calcutta High Court showed you the mirror today that it's not a conducive time to conduct panchayat votes in Bengal. The kind of violence is happening. And you talk of Manipur.
Let Ajay Alok finish his point, then I'll come back to you. Mr. Tausif Rahman, I'll come back to you. Mr. Tausif Rahman, I'll come back to you. Mr. Ajay Alok, please finish your point. Yes.
Now he's showing desperation on the screen, and there he's saying that BJP is desperate. What Manipur has happened, government is taking it very seriously and will come out to a solution because this problem has been created by none other than the Congress. Today, the Patriotic Party of the Manipur, organizing secretary Noble Raymond, has written an open letter to Rahul Gandhi that this is the problem generated by the Congress, between Metis and Cookies, by just confining them to the hills and the plains. So we are tackling it and we'll tackle it. But what about you? Whatever killings has happened in Manipur, more than 100 times that you have done it in Bengal in last 9 years of your political opponent. You call yourself as a political party, a democratic political party. You are as good as Nazis Hitler.
But
So
Mr. Ajay Alok, there have been instances in Indian political history, including the manner in which Jansangh was formulated and the entire history of BJP, where fragmented groups of political parties have come together and defeated the incumbent in power. There are
yes, they have come together.
There are instances
you're
in
right,
history.
You're right.
My question to you is that to dismiss the opposition unity merely because they don't have a leadership face at this point in time, or there is multiplicity of leadership, is somewhere devoid of context of history and political knowledge. It is possible that they may not be able to come up with a leadership face at this point in time and may be able to sort it out in the future. Mr. Ajay Alok.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is very much possible. If you're absolutely right, it's very much possible. But look, if you talk of history, 1977, there was severe anti-incumbency and anger against Indira Gandhi because of the emergency and the kind of the emergency rule we saw. So the public was unanimous and BJP and all these parties came together and the Janta Party government came to there. In 1989, there was again an issue of corruption. Bofors was there. So everybody united. VP Singh government formed, BJP lended support from outside. The similar case happened in 1996 after Narasimha Rao tenure ended. There was severe utter frustration and confusion among the people of India because of corruption. And again a coalition government formed which Congress supported from outside. Whenever this thing has happened, there is a cause of concern in the country. There is an anti-incumbency. There is an anger towards the current leadership. There is a burning issue of corruption. Nothing of this sort is happening right now. India is marching
All right,
ahead.
let me bring in the Congress and the TMC into the discussion.
All the corruption,
Mr.
corruption cases are
Rahman,
on
where
them.
are the burning issues? Is there really any kind of anti-incumbency against the government on the plank of which all the parties can come together and defeat the incumbent in power? Mr. Rahman.
Ma'am, are you asking me?
Yes, Mr. Tawseef Rahman. Then I'll go to the Congress spokesperson first.
Can you just quickly repeat the question, ma'am?
My question to you is that the entire issue of burning issues, the inflation that you're talking about, there was a point that was made by the BJP that each time fragmented group of political parties have come together and formed a government, there have been very strong anti-incumbency factors, issues of corruption that has concerned the people at large. There is nothing of that sort on the ground, on the plank of which the opposition parties can argue that, look, we need to change the government.
Ma'am, in politics, the dimension of the politics changes every week. And he is talking about 79, 96, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to happen. We need to understand that we are fighting not just against the corruption, but the misuse of agency, whether it's CBI, whether it's ED, whether it's media, whatsoever. But the people are watching. I mean, why BJP gets so nervous? Why don't they talk authenticity with authenticity? Like, what is the major problem right now? Okay, fine, I agree whatever he said. But what about gas? What about electricity? What about bus fare? What about dal, chawal, everything? Where is it going? I mean, look at the finance minister, honorable finance minister. She quotes in a statement that dollar is not going, like rupee is not going down. The dollar is going up. I mean, what kind of statement is this? Do you want to explain to this people? I understand. The poor people, they don't understand what economy is. So that's why you are playing with dollar versus rupees. And I mean, it's a bizarre condition. We are living in a bizarre condition. I was hearing about the minorities. I was hearing about their rights. What is happening in India? The communal fights. Now they are fighting with the religion. Now they're fighting with the language things. I mean, these things need to get stopped.
No
one can make you rich. Sir,
yes.
no one can make you rich.
A quick point from Rohan Gupta, please, and then I'll go back to the BJP. Yes, Rohan Gupta, please go ahead.
I am happy on one side that BJP spokesperson hasn't realized the ground is changing very fast. They have lost Karnataka, and the basic issues in Karnataka is what price rise, is the people issue, unemployment. These are the issues Congress fought and we won. So I'm very, very happy that even after 9 years, BJP has not realized that the issues people are the core issues. They have done enough of Hindu, Muslim, communism. It's all over. The lifeline is over. Mr. Modi fought the Karnataka election. He lost it. So now BJP will have to understand it's all about going to be the governance. Anything negative. Whenever something happens in BJP government, they blame Congress. Now for Manipur, they have started blaming Congress. So for any failures of BJP, because they cannot resolve it, they become the opposition party. But Anusha, now the politics is changing. Karnataka is one strong example that Congress fought on the issues of election. We believe that governance is important, and that's why our 5 promises, that is our priority, and people of the country, they are watching. This is one party who gives the promises and fulfills within the time. This is another party which is in power for 9 years, and they blame opposition parties for their failures. You cannot do that. You have to take responsibility. You tell me, Anusha, in 9 years for any one responsibility BJP has taken for their failures, whether it is China issue, whether it is COVID issue, whether it is note ban issue, whether it is GST issue, whether it is farm laws issues, whether it is unemployment, whether it is price rise.
Ajay, this is a government without political accountability. You cannot blame the Congress party for each issue that you encounter while you're governing the country. People voted BJP to power. They should take responsibility, whether it's price rise or it's the recent situation in the state of Manipur. Mr.
First
Ajay.
of all, price rise is under control. Price rise is under control. Inflation data, not only at the local level, at the retailer level, everything is getting under control. Congress, my spokesperson, knows it very nicely, so he's not mentioning all these things. Number 2, he was talking of governance. Yesterday meeting, you must have seen the governance. Mr. Rahul Gandhi saying Lalu Prasad Yadav, who is a convict, on bail outside, he's telling Rahul Gandhi is telling to Lalu Yadav, 2 mantri banwane hain. Mr. Lalu Yadav makes the ministers. This is the governance model of Congress and this Mahagathbandhan. Third thing, Karnataka, we accept the people verdict just by anything. We respect it and we salute it. We don't question the verdict. We don't question the EVM. But now I'll tell you the mathematics of Karnataka, sir. Our vote percentage was same, 36%. Your vote percentage shot up from 38 to 42 just because of Muslim appeasement. The JDS lost its 5% vote, that went to you, and that is the reason you got this much of seats. This anybody in this country knows, okay? So this is your policy of Muslim appeasement, and that's making you win Karnataka. Very good. But as far as keeping the promises goes, it was free electricity, right? How much the electricity price have risen in Karnataka and why people are out on the road protesting? You promised complete loan waiver in Rajasthan 5 years ago. New election coming up. Again you promise OPS. So this is your promises and what you carried out.
Rohan,
60 years you have ruled Manipur. We are ruling Manipur for the first time, and we are responsible and will solve the problem.
Rohan, I come back to the issue of opposition unity, and this is not a question in the interest of the BJP. This is a question in the interest of having a formidable and a dynamic opposition unity in the run-up to 2024, because that healthy contest, electoral contest, is very important for Indian democracy. Do you think there can ever be a consensus on a leadership phase? There was a criticism from the opposition quarter, from your political opponents, but it was right in many ways, because they said that each regional satrap, each chief ministerial face or the present chief minister of a state right now who's sitting in Patna right now wants to be the next prime minister of the country. And if you have a problem of the plenty, you can never have a united opposition that can fight against the big gigantic machinery of the BJP when it comes to the elections.
Anusha, I don't think so that the face of Prime Minister is issue in any of these meetings. Even Sharad Pawarji told today that this issue is never discussed. See, the issue is why opposition unity is to ensure that we fight together to save this country from the draconian rule of BJP. What BJP is doing, they are pressurizing everybody, whether it is people, whether it is reporter, whether it is politician, whoever goes against them, whoever speaks against them, they will pressurize, they will use their agencies. The idea here is not about particular person or party becoming prime minister. The idea is to ensure that common minimum program where the issues of people are raised, we come on platform, common platform. And
So Rohan, you believe the question of the BJP that Modi versus who is a redundant question?
Absolutely not.
No, because this is a direct question that the BJP is repeatedly asking, and I will bring in Nilofer also into that discussion, that BJP was Prime Minister Modi versus who? That is one phase that the BJP is banking on. What is the phase that the opposition parties can put together?
Can I come in, Anusha?
Yes, Nilofer, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a fight against the dictatorship and against those people who don't want that there should be democracy. In J&K, I'll talk about J&K from last 8 years. We don't have the elections here. We speak very high about democracy. We say that it is the soul of the country. But at the same time, our state, our state has been degraded. It has been divided into two parts. We don't find that liberties which we used to enjoy prior to 5 August.
But Niloferji, is there any opposition party? Is there any opposition party which is openly coming out and supporting the cause that your party is fighting, which is the restoration of Article 370?
This is too early. This is too early to comment on this thing. BJP enjoys monopoly on finance, institutions, and modes of communication. So to counter this common narrative is to be generated the parties. I think it would be very too early to speak about this thing, whether they believe on the stand that it should be restored. We are with this national conference stand has been that we want the restoration of the Article 370, and since it is sub judice in the court, we are waiting for the verdict, and we are in fact waiting that it should be taken up by the Honorable Supreme Court. Too early to be decided, but it is not being done. I don't know why the courts are not taking up these matters so that it could be earlier.
Well, that's a separate debate altogether. Mr. Tausif Rahman, do you think that Mamata Banerjee can perhaps ever accept the leadership of, say, Rahul Gandhi? One phase that many Congress people have been talking about. A lot of Congress leaders say, well, he's one phase that should be considered in the run-up to 2024. He's not holding the official position of the Congress president or any other position for that matter within the party, but he continues to enjoy a special status coming from the first family and also a probable face. He was right beside Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge when that crucial press briefing was taking place after the meeting in Patna. So you think a party like TMC can ever accept the leadership of Rahul Gandhi?
Ma'am, first of all, absolutely, it's all about democracy. If Rahul Gandhi is going to become the PM, the alliance Everyone needs to decide what's going to happen, and we have to accept it. If TMC wants to go with it, TMC will go. If Nitish Kumar wants to go with it, Nitish Kumar will go. What if Congress says Mamata Banerjee can become the Prime Minister of India? And what if Mamata Banerjee says no, I can support Rahul Gandhi? So it's all about alliance, and the democracy is there. But the straight question I want to ask to the people of India from CNN News 18, which is very important, and I challenge all the spokesperson of BJP, they can come and answer me. Whether people wants to know about these questions, just question me this. Just answer me this. Misuse of central agencies, rupee versus dollar, demonetization, unemployment, economic blunders, betrayal of farmers, cultivation of hate, purchasing of India, and budgetary frauds. Can you answer me about this, Ajay Alok ji?
Mr. Ajay Alok ji, you were saying there are no issues. TMC says there are multiple issues. Please answer on those points.
Can you come and forward me this?
Mr. Ajay Alok.
Yeah. Sure. There is no misuse of agencies because there is a cash seizure of more than 1.5 lakh crores. And out of that 1.5 lakh crore, 8,000 crores from TMC leaders. How can there be misuse of central agencies? What kind of money? How your leaders got this much of money? This whole country has seen. Your minister was having more than 500 crores in cash. The whole country has seen it. From where did he get that money? Coal scam, different scam. The people are getting money, 1.5 lakh crores of seizure. How much properties? So how can you say there's a misuse of agencies? Just because you should be allowed to give in a full fiefdom of corruption because you are in power? No, sir. Gone are the days. It won't be allowed that the families will connive and loot the state and the center. In Jammu Kashmir, what was the situation? 3 families only, 3 families. More than 20,000 crores every year allocation, everything went into drain. Where the money went, the investigation is going on. All these 3 families are coming into the net. And agencies are doing wrong job. No, agencies are after, you're nabbing you. You are getting trapped. This is the problem. BMC, we have seen 12,000 crore scandal. It has come up in the light yesterday. Who is involved? The whole Shiv Sena led by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. Boy, what you will do with this kind of money? You have such an appetite for money that you can eat everything. And then you say democracy is at threat. Then you say that central agencies are being misused. No, sir. Central agencies are first time doing their job. And country's exchequer is getting richer. Country exchequer is getting richer. More than 1.5 lakh crores of seizure. Out of that, 8,000 crores from TMC only.
I want to give Rohan one last 30 seconds as we close this debate. Rohan, you really believe that the Congress party will be able to lead this grand opposition unity, and when the next meeting happens in Shimla, which is expected, there would be some kind of tangibles that will be told to the people as to, is there a seat sharing agreement, is there a common minimum program, is there an interlocutor or somebody who is going to coordinate between the various opposition parties? Are we going to have actual deliverables when the next meeting concludes?
Absolutely, Anusha. See, when this kind of larger alliance happens, there will be issues, right? We are seeing the teething problems, but at the end of the day, we are going on. It's not that the process is stopped. There can be issues between 2 parties, but they will be resolved. And that's why next meeting is at Shimla. And you'll see that as the time goes, the leaders will also get that maturity that, yes, they will understand the cause, that we are fighting for the larger cause. And Congress party as a larger party, we understand our responsibility. Wherever possible, wherever we can definitely accommodate, we will do that.
Let's see what kind of accommodation happens from all the sides, because as far as the recent political events are concerned, or what we've seen out in the public domain, it doesn't look like a very united opposition front. My best wishes to the opposition parties as they work together to stitch up this alliance. The BJP says there is no opposition unity in the first place to fight with. The run-up to 2024 expect much more interesting developments. Well, we are stepping into a very short break. Up next on the other side, the power politics peaks in the national capital as power tariffs are expected to rise. That debate after a quick break. Stay tuned.
Comes in a recent development as the Uddhav faction, the Shiv Sena, has hit out in their mouthpiece, Samna. They have actually compared the opposition to Wagner and the rebellion that was taking place in Russia. Specifically, the Wagner group is, remember, giving nightmares to Russian President Vladimir Putin, and they're claiming that this united opposition would leave the ruling dispensation rattled, and other parties are finding it difficult to find common ground as of yet. Now, Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has mocked his own party's attempt to build an anti-BJP bloc for 2024. The Congress Bengal unit chief has ruled out the possibility of allowing the party's fight against Mamata Banerjee to wane. He said that the Congress will always fight the TMC. Now remember, what specifically is taking place in West Bengal is politics ahead of the Panchayat polls, which are going to take place on the 8th of July. It's a bit of a litmus test ahead of 2024. We're crossing over to CNN News 18 senior editor Pallavi Ghosh to get us more. Pallavi, tell us more about the cracks within the opposition unity that are emerging.
See, we have to ask, like we were talking about this Patna meeting was taking place, that there are two important developments and which also brings out the contradictions. On one hand, of course, is the ordinance issue, and we heard Ajay Maken also. Clearly, the Punjab and the Delhi Congress units are not in favor of supporting the ordinance. Aam Aadmi Party, whereas AAP made this a point during the meeting also that how can you talk about opposition unity or taking a fight against the BJP if you're not going to be supporting us on this fascist law? That's one. I think the immediate problem is what we are seeing being played out in West Bengal, where the Panchayat elections are very, very critical because that's always been the basis of politics in Bengal. And in this case, the Trinamool Congress, which is facing a huge battle from the BJP, wants to ensure that the Panchayat polls are swept by them, because that can also become the basis of their performance in the Lok Sabha elections, because in 2019, the BJP had done very well as far as the Lok Sabha elections go. But the problem for the TMC is also that this time it faces a division in the anti-BJP votes in terms of the Congress party. The Congress also has to preserve its identity in this state, because the state Congress president, the leader of the party in Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, comes from Bengal. And therefore, you see the war of words or tug of war between the Congress and the TMC. But not overall, it presents a picture to the voters and political observers as some kind of an inner contradiction, which seems to be against the idea of forgetting the differences in the time being for the sake of a larger opposition unity.
But how is this going to be fixed, the cracks that are emerging within the opposition?
If you could repeat your question, please.
Would you be able to explain how different parties will try to fix these problems that are emerging within the opposition unity?
You know, at the opposition party meeting also this point was raised, and what was decided were two important developments. One, of course, is, and this concern was raised that in some states, for example, the AAP is trying to expand at the cost of the Congress.
Welcome back. After Karnataka, the war over freebies has erupted here in the national capital. Amid the heat wave that has gripped the city, Delhi residents are likely to see their electricity bills increase by almost 10%. This after the Delhi Electricity Regulatory Commission, or the DERC's approval for power companies to hike their rates. As per the new power purchase adjustment charges, an additional of 9.42% will be levied on BSES Yamuna consumers. For the BSES Rajdhani consumers, an additional of 6.39% will be levied. Now, this expected hike is likely to affect the residents of South, West, Old and New Delhi. Most of the parts of the national capital will be affected. The DERC has said that the final decision on the hike will depend on the companies passing the burden to the end consumers. There's no confirmation on that so far. Many believe it's just a matter of time. This has triggered a fierce political war between the BJP and the ruling Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP has accused Kejriwal government of cheating the people of Delhi after promising freebies and winning elections. The Aam Aadmi Party has blamed the BJP, accusing it of forcing power-producing companies to buy coal at higher rates, even in the absence of a coal shortage. However, despite Delhi government's promises, the Aam Aadmi is likely to feel the pinch. So has the Aam Aadmi Party's freebie push, that entire narrative in some sense, backfired? Can it convince the voter that BJP is sabotaging the so-called welfare policies? We talk about that story on Brass Tacks.
वालों को ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि आज जो बिजली का बिल बढ़ रहा है दिल्ली में, उसके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ केंद्र सरकार जिम्मेदार है।
प्रधानमंत्री के मित्र बिना ड्यूटी दिए इंडिया में लेकर आए और जिस पर निर्देश दिया गया कि ये कोयला यूज किया जाएगा सब डिस्कॉम्स द्वारा, तो ये इंपोर्टेड कोयले की वजह से सरचार्ज बढ़ाया गया है।
2022 में जून में ये पावर परचेज एग्रीमेंट कमीशन बढ़ाने के बाद ठंडी में नहीं घटाया, और नहीं घटाया, ये तो अभी बोझ झेल ही रहे हैं, आपने फिर से उसको बढ़ा दिया।
इन अपने कुकर्मों का ऑडिट क्यों नहीं कराया? नंबर 1 पूछना चाहते हैं, आपने पावर परचेज एग्रीमेंट कमीशन के नाम से तो 3904,000 के करीब करोड़ रुपया जनता का ठग लिया।
Well, power tariffs has always been a politicized issue in the politics of the national capital right from 1999 up till the politics of 2023. But the manner in which it has been mainstream, especially after the Aam Aadmi Party came to power, that is clearly unprecedented in many ways. And when the power tariffs are going up, questions are being asked. Is this merely about BJP versus the Aam Aadmi Party, or more importantly, it's about the end consumers like me who stay in the national capital and lakhs of other people who pay their electricity bills? Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal, the leader of the BJP, Anika Mehrotra, who is the spokesperson of the Congress party, Akshay Marathe from the Aam Aadmi Party is also joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Akshay, I'm sure you're aware that there is an intricate math involved when the power tariffs are hiked. The fact that BSES takes a certain call and whether that's passed on to the end consumer or not also depends on if there are any subsidies which are being rolled out by the central government or the state government. The fact that Delhi consumers are going to feel this pinch, can't the government come to their rescue? Subsidy is something that the Aam Aadmi Party had earlier promised.
Anusha, that's a very good question. And I think let's begin at the subsidy question.
Sure.
The Aam Aadmi Party has consistently, for the last few years, been giving a 200-unit subsidy to every consumer in Delhi. So approximately 70 to 80% of all Delhi's consumers receive a zero Bijli bill throughout the year. And in the summer months, that number goes down a little bit. So even after this DERC order allowing some power companies to hike PPAC, which is the power purchase adjustment charge, even after this order, the Delhi government subsidy will continue to provide zero electricity bills to all of those people who were receiving it earlier as well. However, the problem is that Delhi government will now have to foot that additional bill, which is being levied as a result of this new order. And today, what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying very clearly is that the reason that the DERC had to allow these power companies to hike the PPAC by 10% or so is because the central government has forced India to buy imported blended coal. You see, India has always had coal mines. We have always had a very steady supply of coal. And that coal costs about 2,000 rupees a ton, whereas the imported coal costs more than 10 times of the Indian coal. So if you're going to force the electricity companies to purchase coal from abroad, you're going to force electricity companies to purchase expensive natural gas.
You are portraying this situation as if something has happened in the last 2 to 3 years that has led to the situation. The fact that that the coal prices have been significantly going up, or the fact that the imported coal and the consumption of imported coal was increasing in the country, that should also be read with the fact that various discoms here in the national capital are not having a good time managing their math and their numbers. The losses that they are incurring are huge. They run into hundreds of crores, and in fact there have been demands by them that there should be a revision in the power tariff, something that the Delhi government has resisted. So this situation has existed for a while now.
See, there are two different parts of this.
Yeah.
One is the cost of power. Like, let's say you are paying 100 rupees for your electricity. 80 rupees from that 100 rupees comes from the cost of purchasing the power. And in Delhi, the 3 discoms purchase power from NTPC, which is a central government-run power generation company. And that NTPC company, unfortunately, is being forced to buy the expensive coal. So let's assume that there is some issue with the distribution companies, but the crisis currently in India is at the point of power generation because the coal that we are purchasing is so expensive, and this is not a problem that only Delhi is going to face. All the distribution companies around the country are being forced to buy expensive power from the central
All right,
government.
you've made a
because
pointed,
of the because of their
you've made a pointed point.
because let me finish.
Yeah.
Just one point.
Yeah.
This is because they're insisting we buy expensive imported coal from abroad because we think that they have some kind of arrangement with those importing companies. That's
a sharp question to the BJP, Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal. This is a direct allegation on the central government. They're not responsible, they're saying. You are buying expensive imported coal, and there are power generation companies in this country like the NTPC which are being forced to hike the rates, and that's why the Delhi government has to accept the price rise.
Anusha, good evening. Good evening to Onika ji. Good to see you after a while. And
thank you.
Namaskar to Akshay. Going good. I'm very surprised that a young lad as Akshay hasn't studied the power tariff and the power tariff system and the mechanism. And he did make his points, but those points are just mere political points and they're allegations. Let me take everyone through this, and I wish the audiences also understand that power hike in a state is a matter of tariff determination for the state government. That is first part. State government acts on the behalf of the people and understands what's best for the people of the state and handles the internal organizations. Just like the DISCOMs, which is a DISCOM is a power distribution company, and it has nothing to do with coal and other things and all that, because power determination, tariff determination has to be is a regulatory function, and there are many loopholes to the entire story. Now I'll tell you, one of the loopholes that is there is that the entire PPC has to be vetted by the state government and the relevant bodies from time to time. And you also understand that there is a legal concept of truing up. It's called truing up. It's a legal concept. Truing up is basically review of power consumption versus budgeting versus taxation versus cess and other stuff, tariff determination every year. And if there is an issue in truing up every year, then the state government is responsible for actually bringing it to the attention for all parties and multi-stakeholder environment to actually keep a control on that and take rectification measures, which clearly is shown that it's not happening. Now, let me take us not too far back. Let me take us 2 years back. 1st October 2021, 7% has been levied on energy and fixed charges, surcharge. No answer for that. Adjustment charges of PPAC, 20.69%, 20.70% is a very, very, very significant.
Right.
And I'm saying this from a precedence. I'm saying this from law. I'm saying it from a public interest perspective. 20% hike is levied on energy and fixed charges with effect from 10th June 2022.
Yes.
I think it is mind-blowing. And this time around, it's 8%. It is mind-blowing. The clear intention of the Aam Aadmi Party is that we speak a lot. We will speak a lot. We'll be very nice people. Our chief coordinator, patron, president of the party will go around in 600,000 rupee worth of chappals, but will travel in 40 lakh worth of cars. But we will not talk of public interest determination at all when it comes to doling out things and when it comes to receiving the same money one way or the other.
All right.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party, Anusha, will the Aam Aadmi Party deny the fact?
One second. Yeah.
1 second. Will the Aam Aadmi Party deny the fact that in totality, this particular hike is to garner more than 700 crores, which is due towards the pension of the Delhi Jal Board employees, which the state government has not been paying for a very long time.
Before there's a response from Akshay, I want to bring in Onika ji also into the discussion. Onika ji, interestingly, the Congress party was also questioned for their freebie politics. Many accuse that the Congress party has borrowed this model from the Aam Aadmi Party. Look, it's failing in Delhi. That's what you're arguing here. But you have promised this in other states like Karnataka. But let's stick to Delhi. Do you believe that for the recent decisions that have been taken, it's the Aam Aadmi Party responsible or for the BJP? Politically, Congress doesn't like both of them. But I'm wondering which side Congress is going to pick and choose this time.
Anusha, actually, people have stopped being enamored by Kejriwal ji because a lack of fulfilling his promises. That's the problem. Those days, remember, the scenes were so vivid, climbing on the electricity pole, getting the electricity connected, and such an hue and cry about the faulty meters, about Sheila ji being favoring the private people and how she's giving them a huge amount. Look what they're doing. They rightly said they put surcharges and quite about it. You see, people are now fed up. They were expecting a person. You give freebies, it's okay. It's a welfare state. We need to have certain kind of, a kind of help towards the lower middle income group or whosoever needs it. No doubt about it. But stick to what you've said. So people are now refusing to believe because they love to beat around the bush and pretend that they are the honest ones, and it's because of central government or so and so or the LG. You never know, they'll drag the LG also into it. So they have this habit. Instead of coming up and actually speaking up with the central government or clearing the issue, they will go about quoting different things. The point here is that they have not kept their promises. 200 meters Bijli free, okay, fair enough. But what happens to the others who are using it? They have categorically said in winters and summers it varies. But in the winters, did they reduce the charge? No, they didn't. But they continued with the same charges. And now in the summers, when it's about to end, they come up with a hike. So it's
Akshay, is there a surcharge that has been levied by the present government in Delhi for generating about 700 crore rupees, as the BJP argues?
So both.
Akshay, I want Akshay to come into the discussion. Yes, Akshay. Yeah.
If I heard Mr. Agarwal correctly, I was amazed because he said that the price of coal has nothing to do with the price of power. That is like saying the price of chai has nothing to do with the price of milk. That's so irrational and so illogical that I can only express my amusement. But let me quote some figures for you. The DRC is the body that approves the approves the power purchase rates. The DRC has approved that Delhi power distribution companies will buy power at 3.16 rupees per kilowatt hour, but instead NTPC Aravali is charging us 4.5 rupees. Now, when you have that kind of difference between the pre-existing or agreed upon rates and what actual rates are being charged, that is why the Electricity Regulatory Commission had to increase the PPAC, which is a small component of the entire power bill. It is not the entire power bill. So all we are saying is that when the agreed upon rates are not being given to us by the central government, are we incorrect in saying that the central government should stop purchasing expensive coal from abroad and use Indian coal? I want to ask the BJP today, what is the problem in using domestic coal mines, using domestic coal production to actually make power cheaper in the country? Why are they hell-bent on buying expensive power from abroad? Can Mr. Agarwal answer that question?
But Akshay,
Yes,
this is one second. Akshay, this is also like the entire politics of the BJP that the Aam Aadmi Party calls them out for. That whenever there's something wrong that happens, they blame the opposition party but never answer the question on the merits of it. Doesn't that hold true for you today? The consumers of Delhi are asking, we elected you to power. We want to know from you that why the tariff rates are being increased, because this is the promise you made to the electorate that we will provide you cheap electricity in the national capital. So that question can't be ducked to the BJP.
Anusha, no, I am not ducking that question at all. Anusha, we started this debate where I categorically said that this power tariff hike has nothing to do with the 200 units of free power. The 200 units of free power continues, the Delhi government continues to foot the bill for that. We are assuring the people of Delhi that your power bills are not going to go up by even 1 rupee if you are under the 200 units slab.
All right, Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal, a quick response from you, and then I'll bring in Monica as well. Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal.
The beauty of this is that my worthy younger brother, Akshay, I just pointed it out that, why would anyone say something without information? PPAC is not a small part of the entire power tariff. It determines the entire power tariff because that's where your purchase cost comes from. Okay, the taxes, etc., are only levied on top of it. So that's like playing cricket without a cricket ball. So very funny. So let me bring this forth. When Akshay or Aam Aadmi Party talks about DERC is bound by Electricity Act 2003. It's a quasi-judicial body. Section 108 is of the Electricity Act. I don't know if Aam Aadmi Party or anyone else in Aam Aadmi Party knows about it. I'm going to read 2 lines from it. Section 108 Electricity Act 2003. It functions, the State Commission shall be guided by such acts of directions in matters of policy while discharging their duty involving public interest as the state government may give it to in writing. Point number 1. Point number 2, if any question arises as to whether any such direction relates to a matter of policy involving public interest, the decision of the state government thereon shall be final. Now, this clearly states that the state government is not interested to run a welfare state. The state government is only interested to do hathi ke daant dikhane ke aur khane ke aur. The state government is only interested to do talking and no action on the ground, and wants to make people a fool. People of Delhi aren't fools, let me tell you that. And you should not pay vote bank politics.
I have last 30 seconds. Akshay, a quick response from you as I end this debate. Akshay, a quick response from you. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Why is the BJP purchasing expensive coal from abroad? The reason is that their friends, Mr. Adani, runs coal mines abroad, and the BJP wants to benefit Mr. Adani. Mr. Adani runs coal mines abroad, and the BJP wants to purchase this expensive coal from Adani's coal mines abroad. That's the simple answer. I was hoping Mr. Agarwal would clarify this for us. That what is that connection between foreign coal exporters and the
Akshay, all I can say is 2 points. One politically, I believe it's the Aam Aadmi Party which should be held accountable because people voted for Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital. And secondly, the extraction of coal from the coal mines in India is a far more complicated subject than to be reduced to political bickering. I thank all my guests for joining us on the broadcast. But that's the debate going on between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. With that, it's a wrap on this edition. Thank you for watching.
The AAP is trying to expand at the cost of the Congress. AAP gave this reassurance we'll not do that between 2024. But AAP also has to cater to its constituency, so how long can it keep the promise? The second point which was raised is at the state level we can have our differences, we can be opponents to each other, but at the national level we all need to be together. Pretty much like say the left Congress equations. In Kerala they are political opponents, in Bengal they are allies. But again, it presents a very confusing picture to the voter when he's going to go and cast his vote. That am I going to vote for a kind of a dilemma, or will I vote for a steady government, say, if it comes in the form of the NDA?
Now, Pallavi, a few follow-up questions. Does this not raise a bigger question of whether or not there can be a united opposition?
Well, to be very fair, as a political reporter, I can say that we should not rule out any possibility. In 2004, we saw a kind of a united opposition. Unlikely partners like the DMK and the Congress did come together. But then, 2004 is again a little different from what it is now. At that point of time, the TMC, the DMK were just regional parties. TMC, for example, never had a national ambition. There was no Aam Aadmi Party at that point of time. Today, we have AAP, TMC, both of them. At least AAP has grown at the cost of the Congress. And then you have other players coming into the picture. For example, the BRS, which stays away from any attempt at opposition unity and in fact runs a parallel attempt at a united front. So things are different from 2004. It's not that it can never happen, but it's tough as we see it today.
Would you also be able to tell us more about the tussle between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, the history of it? Did it really start in Rajasthan when the Delhi Chief Minister?
I think it goes back to much earlier. It goes back to a time when the AAP defeated Sheila Dikshit, and you remember it was a complete wipeout. And ironically, that election was just after Congress had given support to the Aam Aadmi Party government and in Delhi. Consistently, AAP has wiped out Congress, and then the worst, of course, was in Punjab, where the Congress was defeated, and AAP has formed the government there. AAP has entered into largely those states where there has been a straight fight between the BJP and the Congress, which gives Congress the impression that you're ganging up or you're coming into the scene only to take on the Congress party, and which flips the anti-BJP votes. For example, in Gujarat, AAP winning 5 seats. In Goa, AAP winning 2 seats. So the Congress's argument is that AAP only steps in where there is a state BJP-Congress fight, which damages us, which helps the BJP, and therefore it has accused the Aam Aadmi Party of being a B team of the BJP. But the AAP's grievance is that on a critical issue like ordinance, every political party in the opposition spectrum has given us support, barring the Congress.
We also want to get in a word from our Mumbai Bureau Chief, Vinay Deshpande, specifically for that Samna mouthpiece article which compares opposition unity to the Wagner Group. Could you tell us about whether there's been any recent reaction to the Samana article?
Well, absolutely. We have seen that the BJP has hit back at Samana over the kind of editorial that the Samana has carried. We have seen Ram Kadam talk.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. We're back from Washington, D.C., and Prime Minister Modi has wrapped up his state visit to the U.S. He's been to Egypt since we last saw you. On the show tonight, we'll talk about all of that, also about what's cooking in Russia, a coup against Vladimir Putin. It lasted for almost 2 days. The rebels took one city. Their next target was Moscow. It's never happened before in Putin's 2-decade-long rule. Tonight, we'll tell you about the key players, how the drama unfolded, how it ended, and where it has left Putin. Has this shaken his hold on power? Every analyst worth his salt is weighing in on the subject. Meanwhile, Putin's best friend Xi Jinping is dealing with a slowing economy. The numbers do not look good for China. And as if there wasn't enough drama in the world already, two men want to engage in a cage fight. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Also, a dog named Scooter is the world's ugliest. Two questions. Why? And why is this news? We'll tell you the headlines first. North Korea ups the ante against the United States, holds mass rallies in Pyongyang as it promises a quote-unquote war of revenge. North Korea is observing the 73rd anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War. It began on the 25th of June 1950 when Pyongyang invaded Seoul. Russia loses its court battle in Australia over its new embassy. Australia's High Court dismisses